Dear students, today we take the lesson, the first lesson, Pippi, longest stocking, page 11. Let me go through the lesson. When Pippi entered Villa Vellecula for the first time, it was a lovely summer evening. The children next door, that is, children who live in the next house, Tommy and Annika, were not at home. They had gone to visit their grandmother for a week, and so they had no idea that anybody had moved into the house next door. On the first day, after they came home again, they stood by the gate, looking out onto the street. They had no idea that there actually was a playmate so near. They were standing there, considering what they should do and wondering whether anything exciting was likely to happen or whether it was going to be one of those dull days when they could not think of anything to play. And just then, the gate of Villa Vellecula opened, and a little girl stepped out. She was the most remarkable girl Tommy and Annika had ever seen. She was Miss Pippi Longstocking, out for her morning walk, and this was the way she looked. Her hair, the color of a carrot, was braided, means plaited. Look at the picture. Her hair braided into tight braids that stuck straight out. Her nose was the shape of a very small potato and was dotted all over with freckles. What do you mean by freckles? Small patches of darker color. It must be admitted that the mouth under this nose was a very wide one. Look at the mouth with the strong white teeth. Her dress was rather unusual. Pippi had made it herself. She had meant it to be blue, but there wasn't quite enough blue cloth. So Pippi had sewed little red pieces on it here and there. Look at the dress of Pippi. Here and there you can see different patches, red patches. On her long, thin leg. Her leg is long and thin. And on her thin legs, she wore a pair of long stockings, one brown and the other black. She had on a pair of black shoes that were exactly twice as long as her feet. Her father had bought these shoes for her in South America. So that Pippi would have something to grow into. She loved them and she never wanted to wear any others. But then the thing that made Tommy and Danica open their eyes widest of all was the monkey sitting on the strange girl's shoulder. A monkey was sitting on her shoulder. It was a little monkey dressed in blue pants, a yellow jacket, and a white straw hat. Peppy walked along the street with one foot on the sidewalk and the other in the gutter. Look at, one is on the sidewalk, the other is on the gutter, her legs. Tommy and Danica was as long as they could see her. In a little while, she came back, and now she was walking backward. That was because she didn't want to turn around to get home. When she reached Tommy's and Anika's gate, she stopped. The children looked at each other in silence. At last, Tommy spoke. Why did you walk backward? Why did I walk? Did I walk backwards? Said Pippi. Isn't this a free country? Can't a person walk anywhere she wants to? Let me tell you that in Egypt, everybody walks that way, and nobody thinks it is the least bit strange. How do you know? Asked Tommy. You've never been to Egypt, have you? I've been to Egypt. Indeed, I have. That's one thing you can be sure of. I have been all over the world and seen many things stranger than people walking backward. I wonder what you would have said if I had come along walking on my hands, the way they do in farthest India? Now you must be lying, said Tommy. Pippi thought a moment. You're right, she said sadly. I am lying. It's wicked to lie, said Annika, who had at last gathered up enough courage to speak. Yes, it's very wicked to lie, said Pippi, even more sadly. But I forget now and then. And how can you expect a little child like me to always tell the truth when my mother is an angel and my father is a king, is king of Cannibal Island? And I have sailed on the ocean all my life. Then Pippi smiled and continued. And let me tell you that in Congo, there is not a single person who tells the truth. They lie all day long, begin at 7 in the morning and keep on until sundown. So if I should happen to lie now and then, you must try to excuse me and to remember that it is only because I stayed in the Congo a little too long. We can be friends anyway, can't we? Oh, sure, said Tommy, and realized suddenly that this was not going to be one of those dull days. By the way, would you come and have breakfast with me? Asked Pippi. Why not? Said Tommy. Come on, let's go. Oh yes, let us, said Annika. But first I must introduce you to Mr. Nelson, said Pippi. And the little monkey took off his cap and bowed politely. So, read this is how the end of the lesson. You also read how many times? 10 times loudly, and also copy the lesson. The result, the question answer will follow immediately. Make sure you read 10 times loudly. And after 1 week, there is going to be test, and we will arrange some way so that you can, if possible, come to the school and write the exam and go. Test. Thank you.